Okay? Which question am I answering?
Shalom from Jerusalem. This is Uriel, Independent News, Jerusalem, Israel. Sir, what do you think about the current threat with Syria and the missiles that are pointing towards Tel Aviv?
I don't know that the greatest threats come from Syria at this point. The Syrian regime is in such trouble. Assad is being chased. The problem in most of the Mideast is you have madmen running most of the countries that surround us here. And you can't use logic to deal with anything that anyone's going to do, be it Assad in Syria, Ahmadinejad in Iran. You have all the terrorist organizations that surround us, funded by these states. I have a lot of hope that the Netanyahu government with the Likud can have the intelligence they need to know where they need to make preemptive strikes, as they've made some recently. And we fully support Israel's right to defend itself against those who would destroy us.
Now, do you think that the Syrian, the ones that are trying to overthrow Assad, do you think that they will have peace with Israel?
One of the things that we have learned about the so-called Arab Spring is it tends to turn into an Arab winter. And the problem with putting democracy into an area that has never known democracy is the power blocks tend to be in extremist organizations. We've seen it in Egypt already. I think we'll see the same thing in Syria. The elections coming up in Iran, I think, are very, very important too, to see how the country reacts to what they've been going through. I don't have a lot of hope in Syria that if Assad is overthrown, things will actually get better, because with Assad in, he was able to keep some stability on the border anyway. And if you lose that kind of a dictator who rules with a rod of iron over his people, it brings a lot more instability, and I don't know that that's going to be a better scenario for us.
Now, one final question. Do you think that the Muslim Brotherhood has already infiltrated Syria?
The Muslim Brotherhood, you're dealing with a political party largely, but you're dealing with fundamentalists from all different extremes. And like I said, the problem with those groups is that if they start voting, you have a voting bloc that will put that kind of extreme leadership into power, which is exactly what we saw in Egypt. I believe the same thing will happen if there's so-called elections that take place in Syria after the Assad regime falls.
This is Uriel, Independent News, Jerusalem, Israel. Shalom.